Heading out scouting is easily my favorite thing, especially with fresh permission on a property close to home from a generous landowner and new friend.
Long day, I guess.
Arriving late, we snuck up a fence row just in time to watch a nice frame buck enter the field. If we could only have seen the future that evening filming that buck, to know what he was, what he'd become, and the journey that we were about to embark on. We had gotten lucky and the buck had survived the 2014 season and grew tremendously in 2015. Now with a massive typical frame and a few extras, we decided to pass again one more year. And in 2016, with another year's age, the buck had grew again in leaps, adding more normal points, some width, and a lot of character. And we decided that this would be the year to set up and hope Rochelle might get a chance on what we now felt was a 180-inch class buck. With her lucky cameraman not being very lucky, deer movement slow, and for the next month Rochelle sits with Steve, still with no encounters with the creek buck. It was now November, with just days left in the season. After another slow night, right at last light, it happens. The creek buck makes an appearance. Now up close and in person, Rochelle and Steve are faced with one tough decision. And with just days left in the season, they decide to roll the dice, hope the deer survives, and pass on the creek buck for another year, putting an end to 2016, and a wrap on a season of sits. We replaced our binoculars with a stealth cam and could not believe it as the summer went on. The creek buck continued to grow, a lot. And month by month we watched the creek buck develop not only into a big deer, not just Rochelle's dream buck, but a world-class whitetail. Steadfast and dedicated, Rochelle did hunting a creek buck every time the conditions were right, still with no encounters. But today the deer were moving early, and this September evening was about to be permanently etched into our memories for a lifetime. As the creek buck closed the distance, this year there was no question if Rochelle was going to pass or not. Now within 20 yards of a world-class whitetail, Rochelle was ready to finally take her shot. Rochelle draws, the buck turns broadside perfect, and just at the moment of truth, a fawn walks directly behind him, forcing Rochelle to hold and wait until its steps clear. And in that moment, with that one arrow, our deer hunting dream had turned to a nightmare with a clean miss.
Hey, Rochelle, it's a deer. It's just a deer, sweetie.
The last sit here it was kind of a good sit. So anyway, 3 days later, I came in here to tear it down, and before I tore the blind out, I checked the card, and he'd came back here to the Big and J 2 hours after she shot. So we decided, with a short amount of time, that we would hunker in and hope that he doesn't know what happened. The 3 days between when we missed and I checked the card, he was here every day.
Conditions were close but far from ideal, but with 3 days left in the early season and no improvement in sight, we doubled up on ozonics to hunt the crosswind, hoping that no deer came from the east. The deer began moving early from the south-southeast. Everything was perfect so far. A couple of young bucks arrive and begin to fight and play, and moments later they look east. My heart sinks, and the giant appears. It was hard to believe Rochelle was about to get a second chance, surreal actually. Then moments later, while still not broadside for a good shot, he snaps his head up as a truck and a trailer rumbled down the road over 500 yards behind us. Still thinking that the creek buck would calm down and Rochelle's shot was still coming, the buck looks further back as a couple of deer trot in off the field. He turns and moves away, still with no shot. And it happens. One buck bounds by, and they all fall in line, like dominoes, and with them taking Rochelle's second chance as he exits, however not spooked and obviously unsure why he's leaving with the other deer.
One step. That deer had one step to make, and he was toast.
With nowhere else to be and knowing that the buck didn't know what had happened, we stayed put, on the 1 in a million chance that he'd want to head back out to the field. And 16 minutes later, to the east, down the same trail, we look and realize that Rochelle had just overcame Powerball lottery odds, and the creek buck was coming back through.
I can't even believe he came back. That is unbelievable. Did you see her head? It was good. We're just gonna be quiet here for a minute.
This time there were no mistakes, and after meeting with Steve on the road and concluding that it was a double lung shot, we headed in to look for the buck.
I don't even really know what to say. I can't believe I got my shot at him tonight. I sat for him last year, and this year had its ups and downs. I did take a shot at him and missed, and was really heartbroken over that. Here he is. I got my shot at him, and I don't even know what to say. He's gorgeous.
That deer's insane. I'm so happy. This deer, well, tonight, this deer's been an absolute dream to hunt. You never say nothing bad about the deer. Tonight was a little bit more of a frustrating night. We filmed 100 episodes. My instant thought was that's the absolute most heartbreaking thing I've ever seen or filmed in the deer woods. And we talked about getting out then too, hey, just sneaking out.
Yeah.
We only had about an hour left, we stuck in there, but we weren't gonna sit tonight. And with 3 days left, we thought we would try to stack everything in our favor, crawl in there, and it's incredible. I mean, I don't have to say anything, just watch it again.